This is Kingdom View of Relationship and Marriage series. The Bible encourages the man to love his wife and the wife to submit to her husband. God knows where each of us can function best. Everyone must love because God is love, but man can display that better. Everyone must submit to one another, but a woman can do that better. A woman have the most powerful weapon of submission, worship. A woman have the most powerful weapon of submission. Worship is there, kneeling is there, and even showing of respect. While a man also have the most powerful weapon of love, which involves sacrifice, defense, and boldness. Can you see that? The the woman's weapon of submission is worship, kneeling, and respect. But for the man, his weapon of love is sacrifice, defense, and boldness. Can you see that? God created a man and a woman differently. When you look at them, both, the difference is crystal clear. Therefore, they must avoid any action or attitude that can confuse that can confuse gender distinction. Men should be pleased to be men, and women should be pleased to be women. So these days now that we have people who are no longer interested in the agenda. The male want to become female, and the female want to act like a man. That's gender confusion, and the Bible is against it. So we also have to say no to it. Parents should not joke with Parents should not yoke their children on marriage issues, while those who are going into marriage must also be fully prepared. Why will you chase your daughter's fears away with your demands? Is your daughter an artificial product that involves cash and carry? The engagement list of some families is enough to discourage interested brothers. Must a brother buy everything as a bride price before he is accepted? We have to understand that he is preparing to be a husband and not a debtor. Don't keep disregarding every man because not all of them are mean. Don't keep disrespecting every woman's pride. Not every woman is cheap. As the head of the woman is the man, so also the head of the man is God. This is what you must avoid. Loving your partner more than God is a great error. We are expected to love each other in marriage, but we must avoid idolatry. Idolatry is putting things that are not God in the place of God. If anyone says you should do anything contrary to God's word, please don't, because love is not blind. Displeasing God to please man is idolatry. Marriage is not by force, it is by will. So it is better to be married, it is better to be single than to be married and not be happy. I recommend courtship anyways. An average courtship should last for at least 1 year before marriage. Courtship will help you to know if you will continue or not. It will also help you to plan your marriage. It will help you to know each other better, and most importantly, you'll be able to avoid any habit that can put your marriage at risk. Courtship is the best test for compatibility. If you fail the test, then you can't pass marriage examinations because some questions will be repeated. Nothing guarantees a smooth road in marriage. The truth is that the journey is rough, but you will need to grow tough in order to keep moving. Don't just prepare yourself for the honey alone, because it is not all about licking the honey, it is about enduring the pain that will occur. Tough times are not probabilities in marriage, it is a sure event. Prepare before it comes so that when it finally appears, it will meet you fully prepared. Nobody fails an exam when preparation is on display. What brings failure is lack of proper preparation. No one speaks and blame his or herself. Everyone always tell you the good part of the story. So if there is a disagreement between Mr. A and Mr. B, when Mr. B is allowed, when Mr. A is allowed to talk, he will simply tell the good part of it. He won't tell you how he caused the fight, but instead, he will show you how she started the fight and point accusing fingers to the woman in question. Likewise, the woman also will tell you how how the man started the fight. So bringing herself out of guilt. If this is true, then to all counselors, especially in marriage, don't judge any issue based on the report of one person. Otherwise, you may become an offender. Let both of them speak before you come in. Know your partner's priority. This is very important. It's a very important key that helps marriage. You need to know your partner's priority. You must know what you must know what you must know that thing that your husband loves so much. Is he a type that will always want to meet food on the table after work? Is he a type that won't want any distraction from anybody each time he's studying? Is he a type that is very zealous for God's work? Is he a type that is jealous? The husband must also know, what the kind of person their wife is. Is she a type that will always want a husband to add to her contributions? Is she a type that always wants to be appreciated each time she does something special and wonderful for her family? Is she a type that loves eating with her husband? Is she a type that hates noise or easily gets offended when you do something suddenly? All these things we must understand. Otherwise, you may think you are joking with them, but that your joke can offend them. It can lead to annoyance. It can bring annoyance. So we have to understand our partner, know what they love and know what they don't love. So that will guide us to know how to relate with them. If you don't know your spouse priority, living peacefully will become hard because you will do a lot of things that will hurt them unknowingly. If you know you won't be able to associate yourself publicly with her, then don't marry her. If you know he is not your type, then don't go into a marriage agreement with him. If you go into marriage because your friends or people close to you are forcing you to marry him, are forcing you to marry a particular person against your will, then you'll be surprised that they can't go with you. Nobody can go with you into marriage. Everyone will face the result of their choices alone. So don't let anybody force you to marry anyone. Take your time, pray, think, and decide. Don't let anybody force you to marry anyone because they won't follow you to the marriage. You will be the one to face the reality of your choice alone. There's no spirituality to this. If it works for Mr. A, it may not work for you. Make sure you know your blood compatibility before marriage. Check your blood group to avoid seeing your children suffer. Someone may ask, how do I know? Or where do I check? Just go together with your partner to the hospital where you will know if your blood group supports your marriage. Don't marry before checking. Check before marriage. And if your hospital result after several confirmation shows that both of you cannot marry due to your blood group, please don't faith it. Just be casual friends and forget about marrying each other. Many brothers have lost the sister of their choice because they were not bold to speak. There is no spirituality to this one. No matter how you pray that God should show her what He has shown you, you will still need to speak to her. Though sometimes it may change, but the truth is that men are always in the best position to speak to females about marriage. If you are not bold enough to speak about marital relationship, then you are not ready for marriage. You should not expect that the sister will come to you and propose to you. You are the one to go to her. You must take up that responsibility. If you are too shy to express your mind, then you are too small to go into a relationship. You cannot be a true lover if you don't know the true definition of love. How will you claim to love when you don't even know what love is? If you don't know what love is, then meeting up with the demands will be very difficult. If you cannot explain it, then you can't be good at it. The first thing to do for those who truly want to love is to seek for what it means to love. Giving is a fruit of love, but love goes beyond giving. Lovers are givers, but not all givers are lovers. You must understand that. You cannot live without the one you love. If you truly love them, then you won't leave them. If you truly love them, then you won't leave them. If you truly love your husband, then you won't think of divorce. And if you truly love your wife, then breaking up will not be the next option. It is possible to send away, it is impossible to send away the one you love. Love cannot exist apart. It cannot be isolated. It cannot be destroyed or broken. Never say you love anyone you can live without. It is our willingness to submit under the leadership of Christ forever that shows our genuine love for Him. So we love God because we can stick to God, and because we are not willing to leave Him at any time. To guard your marriage, you must guard your heart with all diligence. To guard your marriage, you must bridle your tongue. If your tongue is loose, your marriage is at risk, because by your tongue you can pull it down. Lack of self control in marriage will open it up to attacks. Don't just be a good father, be a good husband. Don't just be a good husband, be a good son. A good father loves his children and cares for them. A good husband loves his wife and cares for her. A good son loves his parent and cares for them. A good man is generally lovely. He loves everyone and cares for them. A good man a good man makes a good husband, a good son, and a good father. A good woman is a good woman is a prepared blessing for everyone who comes across her. Don't just be a good mother, be a good wife. And don't just be a good wife, be a good daughter. A good mother loves her children and cares for them. A good wife loves her husband and cares for him. A good daughter loves a parent and cares for them. A good woman is generally lovely. He loves everyone and thinks evil of no one. Can you see that? To love, true love. True love does not stop after sex. True love does not stop after sex. Those females you see flocking around, those males you see flocking around you will leave you the moment you give yourself to them cheaply. Never give in to those who are only mindful of what they can get from you. Giving yourself cheaply to people reduces your value before them. You will need to remove the spectacles away from your eyes before you can see well. Whatever is blocking your eyes from seeing those godly people that the Lord is bringing to you must be the spectacle that must be removed or put off. They are like veil, preventing us from seeing what God is revealing. Both males and females must put off the veil from their eyes, because until this is done, they may not see the will of God for them in marriage. The veil or spectacle can be pride, so put it off if you want to see well. Love is polite, but sometimes it makes you break some of your personal rules. You won't know when you will be breaking your rules when the fire of love is burning in your bones. Note, breaking the rules as used here is not talking about sin. For instance, a quiet person can start, you know, a quiet person can start shouting. Somebody that is somebody that does not talk much can begin to talk so much, all for love. So there are certain part of us that love will change. Are you there? Not the good part, not like love will now change you from good to bad. No. But there are certain part of us, maybe we don't talk much, but when love sets in, we may just suddenly discover that now we now talk more than before. I hope you are there.